Hey, what's going on, guys? World Brothers Collectibles here. Welcome back to another video. So in this one, I thought I'd show you my entire physical media collection. So this is going to be absolutely everything from DVDs to Blu-rays to 4Ks. So this might be a long one. I don't know if I'm going to do this all in one take, but let's get started. So starting off on the 4K shelf here, this is pretty much all the 4Ks in the collection. I've done separate videos on these guys on my channel. I've got a couple of 4K full collection videos, so please check them out if you wish to do so. That'll be amazing. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and show you these. So I've got the first two Avatar films there. I've got all the Indiana Jones films apart from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I will be watching The Last Crusade this weekend as part of my Easter film trilogy because I absolutely love that film. I watch it absolutely every year on Easter Sunday. Got the Dial of Destiny there, two Clint Eastwood films, Pale Rider and The Outlaw Josie Wales. Love those movies. Got Red Sonja. I know Arrow Video are doing a new release of that, but this is just the release that came out a while ago from Studio Canal. The Shining, that's probably one of the best 4Ks that you can get in my opinion. Jurassic World Rebirth, Rocky 4, The Others, The Thing, and then I also have the Steelbook edition of Bloodsport, which I really enjoy a lot. Going across here, you've got The Terminator, another Clint Eastwood there, In the Line of Fire. Brilliant film, excellent, and it looks gorgeous on 4K. A couple of the Batman films there. The entire John Wick series, absolutely love those movies. I've got all original 6 Star Wars movies. Hard Target, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oop, that's The Revenant. Hard Target, brilliant film. The Revenant on 4K, which I'm yet to watch. Obviously, I've seen the film many times, but I've just recently sold the Blu-ray because I upgraded to the 4K, which I believe is meant to be incredible. So cannot wait to give that a watch. Just got some films in front here. This is the Dollars trilogy from Arrow Video and Zombie Flesh Eaters. I have the original Scream trilogy. All the Jurassic Park films, just moving these out of the way. Got the Bruce Lee series, I've got The Big Boss, Way of the Dragon, Game of Death, Jason Goes to Hell in the back there, American Werewolf in London, Highlander and Speed, and then of course the Arrow Video collection 4K of the Ninja Turtle trilogy. I've done a separate unboxing video on that on my channel, so if you want to check that out, you can do indeed. So moving on to the next shelf, I'm kind of lazy. Like I kind of organize them into genres rather than alphabetical. So, you know, keep all the 4Ks together. And then this is just a collection of pretty much all the superhero stuff right now. So we've got some of the Marvel films on DVD. And then we're going into some of the DC animated things. You've got Justice League there, and then you've got the Spider-Man cartoons. You've got some Batman animated movies. Small Soldiers there. They need to do a 4K of this one day, you know, because it's such a great movie, and it's just a shame that it wasn't as successful as they hoped to make a sequel. Although I've heard rumors of an up-and-coming sequel, which that'll be amazing. So, but who knows? We will see. This is actually a Region 1 release of TMNT. I got this when I was in Orlando in 2007. Addams Family there, Never Ending Story. They've got the Crocodile Dundee films. You know, absolutely love those movies. Not upgraded to 4K because Crocodile Dundee has been edited heavily, which I don't really agree with. I think they should just leave it and preserve it the way it is, but that maybe just me. Then I've got, it's pretty much all Blu-rays now for the rest of the superhero films. So we've got the Batman Dark Knight trilogy, Joker. I've never seen the sequel yet, but I absolutely adore this film, Joker. I think it's absolutely incredible, and Joaquin Phoenix is amazing in the title role. The Batman animated films, they've got The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2, both Suicide Squad films, Wonder Woman. I didn't care for Wonder Woman 1984. And you've got the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies there, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, some more DC and Marvel mixed up, and then the Spider-Verse movies, which are actually really fun movies. These are so cool. I really enjoy these ones. I cannot wait for the next one to come out. We got these quite cheap and watched them, and you know, they're really fun. And if you want a different kind of Spider-Man film, you know, I highly recommend that you watch these because yeah, they're something different. You know, they're really fun, you know, for the whole family, adults as well, and yeah, they are great films. Deadpool there. And this next shelf is going to be a jumble of all the Blu-rays. Again, nothing's alphabetise. We're in the kind of a transition phase where we're kind of thinned down the collection, so nothing is kind of in any order. I just kind of know where everything is personally, and that's the way I like it. I'm not one really to alphabetize everything and be dead pedantic about that. So you might see this as just an absolute jumble of Blu-rays right now, but I'm happy because I know where everything is. So we've got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood there, Pulp Fiction, Grudge Match, which is a great comedy boxing film with Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro, Apollo 13, THX 1138, which is George Lucas's directional debut. Now, I really need to watch this again because I was kind of distracted at the time I watched it. I didn't really enjoy it. I think it was so boring that I ended up falling asleep. But apparently it is this masterpiece, so I need to give it another chance really and rewatch that again at some point. All the Alien films there, the Kingsman set, the Die Hard quadrilogy, and the Man with No Name trilogy. Again, I've just kept the Blu-rays of the Clint Eastwood Dollars trilogy in case they want to watch them in a different part of the house, because the 4Ks do not contain the Blu-rays, unfortunately. Then I have the Katy Perry Prismatic Tour. I saw this in concert live years ago, so I just decided to pick this up and maybe relive the magic one day, but as of yet, I've never watched it. Rambo Last Blood, didn't really care for that film. Black Swan, watched it recently and, really enjoyed it. The Pacific, one of the best TV shows, series in my opinion. You may ask why I have Jaws the Revenge. I enjoy that as a guilty pleasure, and I have to say, it looks really amazing on Blu-ray. Planet of the Apes films there, and Terminator 2. I've done a recent video on the entire Blu-ray collection, guys, so you can check out that. I go through them each in more detail. I don't really care for the Elisa Vikander Tomb Raider. I just got this to watch it for the new series that is coming out with Sophie Turner, just to kind of get in the spirit of it. Some of the Blu-ray horror films now, these are kind of just kept all together. So I got Halloween 4 and 5, the entire Friday the 13th collection, which is the first 8 films, which I've been slowly working my way through and just been enjoying them for what they are. Just going to move some of these out the way. The Blumhouse Halloween trilogy, the Insidious films, Halloween on Blu-ray, the Exorcist series there. I have the Arrow video release of The Exorcist 2 and 3, if you can see them there. Scream films, absolutely love them. And then just going across here, we've got some random DVDs. We have the Phantom of the Opera, which I really enjoyed. It's Joel Schumacher. This is Joel Schumacher directs again, the number 23. I really enjoyed this film. I know it gets a lot of hate and it didn't really do well, but I really enjoyed it. And then we have The Machinist with Christian Bale, which is an incredible film, guys. So if you've never seen it, I highly recommend that you do so. It's done so well, and he was so dedicated to that part that he lost all that weight. Just some random 4Ks here. Now we've got Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. These were the limited editions that came out last year. Again, I've done another video on that, guys, on my channel, opening these up and showing you what they're all about. So if you want to check them out, you can do so. And I've just got a random Blu-ray there. This is the limited edition VHS version of John Carpenter's The Thing, but this is actually the Blu-ray. This was just kind of something fun that they did back in the day, kind of retro, bringing it back to the old VHS. Going down to the next shelf, these are kind of more in alphabetical order. I've just kind of done my best to put them all together. So going across, we've got A Quiet Place, Annabelle Creation, I think that is. Now I've kept these 2 Alien films just purely for the bonus features because I don't think they're actually on my Blu-ray set. So I actually absolutely love the bonus features of the Alien 3 series on here. It is awesome to watch. I love the entire behind-the-scenes making-of documentary on that. That is the remake of Carrie. All the Child's Play films apart from Seed of Chucky, because I cannot stand that film. Conjuring 1 and 2. The Crow, please let me know if that is worth picking up on Blu-ray, guys, because it's such a dark film. I really don't see the point of getting it on 4K, but, the DVD for me is just fine right now. I recently sold my Jason Goes to Hell DVD because I've just picked up the 4K, of course. The entire Halloween series there. Got some different versions of Halloween 6. Halloween H2O and Resurrection, the 2 Rob Zombie films, an alternate version of Halloween Resurrection, 2 Halloween documentaries there. This is just something fun that a friend got us once. It's like a light up old VHS tape of Halloween. It's just a nice display piece. Insidious on DVD. I've never upgraded that to the HD version on Blu-ray or anything like that. Happy Death Day. Last Night in Soho, absolutely brilliant film. Edgar Wright. You know, this is probably one of the few horror films in recent years that, you know, is just absolutely awesome. It kind of sticks with you after you watch it, and I had to rewatch it the very next day just to kind of take it all in again, because it's just so captivating and it's such a brilliant story. And yeah, it's really underrated. It didn't do well in the box office when it was first released, but you know, it is an incredible film. You know, great acting in it. The girl, Tamsin McKenzie, does an amazing job. I think that's her name. The Lords of Salem, another underrated Rob Zombie film in my opinion. It's just pure Rob Zombie. It's just from the mind of Rob Zombie, so it's kind of like he was just given free reign and made this movie, so it is crazy. Purge, Megan, and a couple of the Saw films there, and then Shaun of the Dead. So that is pretty much the entire horror shelf right now. This is all the horror DVDs. On to the next shelf, this is just like all Doris Day and musicals and other kind of family films, so just going across there. We do also have a 4K of Wonka, but that belongs to my partner. That's not in my 4K collection. Again, all kind of musicals there. Sweeney Todd, Cats, a couple of Blu-rays there, and then a couple of family films, you know, School of Rock, Jumanji, and the Charlie's Angels movies. Again, this is all just kind of random stuff right now. This is just moving along on the very bottom shelf. I've got the original Star Wars trilogy on DVD there. This is one, it contains the original Laserdisc versions, the pre-special edition versions, so it's always important to have them. That's RoboCop 1, and then I rebought the entire trilogy because I wanted to watch them all. As of right now, I've never watched RoboCop 3, but I didn't really care for the second one either. But RoboCop 1 is such an awesome film. It is like just epic. It's just a great 80s action movie. And then we've pretty much got all the Studio Ghiblis. Well, not all of them, but a lot of the Studio Ghiblis. Combination of DVD and Blu-rays. Grave of the Fireflies, one of my personal favourites. Absolutely great film. Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Laputa Castle in the Sky. From Up on Poppy Hill, it's one of the first Studio Ghibli films that I ever watched. Ponyo, you know, absolute just beloved classic there. A couple of more animes there, and then just some random stuff at the end. Vertical Limit. I know people disregard this film as just like totally unrealistic, but I enjoyed this film ever since I was a child. I watched it at a sleepover at a family member's house for the first time when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I've always loved the movie ever since. You know, I just think it's such a fun movie, such a good suspense thriller, and I really still enjoy it to this day. Again, Mary Queen of Scots was kind of criticised when it came out for its historical accuracy, but we enjoyed this film in the cinema. You know, we're very much into Tudor history and English history at that time period, so yeah, we really enjoyed it. And yeah, we watch this film a few times a year because we just really enjoy it as a historic period piece. And as I say, we're a big fan of Tudor history, so we have the Tudor box set there. I think that's season 1, but we do have the rest of the series somewhere. Coming up to another shelf now, we have all the Young Indiana Jones box sets, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've not watched all these yet, but, you know, I do really enjoy them. You know, they are really fun as a TV show, and it's, you know, really good educational for children, kind of get them involved in history and learning about specific events and historic people, and Indiana Jones gets thrown right into the middle of that. So these are really fun, just TV episodes. You know, it's just a really great series. Not a lot of people have seen it. You know, we used to play on TV. It got cancelled due to low ratings, I believe. But yeah, it's a really fun show. And there's actually some more 4Ks here now. So I have True Lies, which I have watched, and apart from the criticisms that this film has, I really enjoyed it on 4K. I just accepted it for what it was. Aliens, which at this point I have not watched yet on 4K. Dr. No, which again I thought was a really great 4K upgrade. Toy Story, and I've done a separate review for this on my channel, guys, which, I really love this on 4K. It was amazing. So, I'll leave a link down in the description below for the full review of this one, because it's totally worth upgrading to the 4K on this. I really enjoyed it, and it was quite an emotional experience. The original Mummy trilogy on 4K, love those movies. Cannot wait for the part 4 that's supposedly coming out. The first 2 Matrix films on 4K, and then Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Going down to the next shelf now, we have the Rocky anthology, up to Rocky 1 to Rocky Balboa. Austin Powers, the entire Tudors box set. As I say, huge fan of Tudor history, so we do really enjoy this series a lot. I think we watched it about 3 or 4 times up until this point, the entire series. First 2 Lord of the Rings, and then Jim Carrey's The Mask, which again, I don't have on 4K obviously, but I'm curious to see what it is like. The Leo DiCaprio, William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, a really fun movie. We actually watched that a few weeks ago. The first 2 seasons of Magnum P.I. The Star Wars Holiday Special, which is an abomination that I just can't believe actually exists. Flags of Our Fathers there, and Dances with Wolves, 3:10 to Yuma, so we've got a couple of westerns there. And then, of course, the National Lampoon's Vacation collection, and I watched Vegas Vacation about 2 weeks ago, actually. That's one of my favourites. I really enjoy that film. It's just feel good, fun comedy. So, if you're in the mood to be cheered up, I just throw them movies on, especially at Christmas time as well, with the Christmas Vacation film. That is definitely a favourite of mine. Just going down again here, we have the Beverly Hills Cop trilogy. The Man in the Iron Mask with Leonardo DiCaprio, great film. It's basically a Three Musketeers film, but it is great nonetheless. The Craft, some of the Resident Evil films there, and then we have a copy of Highlander 3 there. Again, it's pretty much all random kind of stuff that I've just kind of kept. It does need to be organised at some point. Forrest Gump, The Three Amigos, again, just a beloved classic from my childhood. Jean-Claude Van Damme in The Quest. I just kept my old Bruce Lee DVDs, just in case, but these are the actual old Hong Kong Legends DVD releases of the first couple of Bruce Lee films. Budo, it's kind of a martial arts documentary, which is really fun. I did used to enjoy watching this all the time. A copy of The Spy Who Loved Me on DVD, because I actually met Caroline Munro. She played Naomi in The Spy Who Loved Me, and I actually got her autograph in this, so that's why I've just kept that there, because that was a really great memory and good experience. View Through a Curl, I've just kept this DVD because I enjoyed this limited edition casing. I just love the gold and the silver there on the slipcover. A version of The Three Musketeers. Pretty Little Lies TV show, I think that belongs to my wife, of course, and then I've got the Rambo films on DVD. And I've actually done a separate video on this on my channel, guys. This is just a collection of everything random that's kind of left over that I didn't want on the main shelf. So I've got the Walking With series there, Prehistoric Park, a few of the Arnold Schwarzenegger films there, just going down here. Got another copy of Highlander 3, Stand By Me, Open Range, great film. One of my favourite westerns of all time. Passion of the Christ, I will be watching this tomorrow with Good Friday. I watch that film every year on Good Friday. And then Band of Brothers and Miss Congeniality. This is going to be the last part of this video, guys. I have the 2 Rush Hour films there. Kung Fu Panda, Pitch Perfect 3, some of the Pirates of the Caribbean films there. This is actually the Cirque du Soleil Avatar show, which we've seen live and in person. This is where I got the DVD from. It was an epic show. Really worth seeing if it ever comes back, guys. It was, especially if you're a fan of Avatar and Cirque du Soleil, it was epic. The Karate Kid trilogy, and then the next Karate Kid. A Downton Abbey box set there, and then the other Berlin Girl. That was just taking a look at my entire physical media collection. I do hope you enjoyed watching it. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate all your support. And I will see you very soon in more videos. Take care.